This is a subject people have been ranting about, and I thought I'd do it too. The Sonic fanboys. Ah, yes, I hate these people with all my heart and soul. I mean, I know that's a little harsh, but I really do. First, I'm going to talk about how they react towards some of the characters, and by characters, I'm talking about the ones who get bashed the most, and you pretty much know. The only ones that won't be included are the ones, well, who don't get bashed. And how they react to some of the Sonic games and the Sonic model. First of all, why does it matter if Sonic is taller or not? Looking at this picture, they look exactly the same. You complain that his quills are too long, and his eyes are green. Why does it matter what color his eyes are? As long as in the game Sonic 4, Sonic plays exactly like he does in the classics and actually moves fast. I mean, just because the homing attack is added, that doesn't change anything. I mean, why can't you people just grow up and realize that Sega has to make changes for the series? Because they're only doing what's best for us. And if you can't appreciate that, then move to another fan base. And it's a shame how Sega can't even make up their mind most of the time, because people like you have to nitpick. To me, I'm a huge Sonic fan. Every Sonic game that comes out, I just have to nab it. I'm like a huge Sonic freak. But it doesn't matter which one, if it's new or not. As long as the game plays good and has good story mode, that's all that matters. It shouldn't matter what any of the characters are doing unless you're using them. And come to think of it, they have made a Sonic game just like the very first Sonic game in the 2000s. Well, you know what? It turned out to be shitty. And I'm pretty sure which Sonic game you all are referring to. And it's on a handheld system. The game I'm talking about that they actually made here in the 2000s, I think it was made here. But it's Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for the Game Boy Advance. But you know what? It sucked. If Sega tried to make one of the old original games just like they tried to do the first one with this, it would turn out just as bad. Because their technology cannot produce this kind of stuff. So, I mean, like, people think Mario doesn't change. Well, I'm about to show you a little slideshow of all of Mario's different design changes. Now, this is not going to be from every game. These are just going to be from some of his popular, most memorable games. A couple of them, there's only like one of them I hate, but anyways. But yeah, and people think Mario doesn't change. Looking by these slides, I'd pretty much say Mario has changed more than Sonic. Just because he has a hat and overalls doesn't change the fact that of his design changing. Well, here it is, and I'm going to play a little bit of music too. So yeah, you see, there is a big difference in Mario's change. Just because he has his hat and overalls from the original game, you all love using that as an excuse of Sega changing Sonic's design. But just because he has those two things, that doesn't change the fact that Mario's design overall has changed. Look at those slideshows I just showed you. There is a big change from some of the original games back then when they just had sprites, up until now when Mario is in 3D. The Mario now looks nothing like the original Mario. Just because he has the same clothes. That doesn't change anything. And all Sega did was make a couple of adjustments. He has green eyes and larger quills. Other than that, they look exactly the same. The Sonic from the classics is still Sonic. And all those other games you said that were shitty, like Sonic Next Gen, if the classic Sonic was in it, and they did all that stuff exactly how it was put into the game would still be crap. And stuff. And so even if the classic Sonic was in the new Sonic games, that wouldn't change anything. A classic design does not change a bad game. No matter what design they put in a game, that still is not going to change anything. The only thing that changes a bad game is if Sega makes another game that's better than that. And you fans need to realize, like in Sonic 4, how you're criticizing it just because it's not using the classic design. All you guys wanted was a 2D Sonic game. You didn't say how you wanted Sonic to be like. There's just no pleasing you fans. I'm just done with you fans. There's just no pleasing you. And then yet Sega gives you a 2D game. But every time someone rants on it, they're like, oh, they didn't give us 2D. Yes, they did. Sonic 4 looks exactly like the classics. And this person, a Naho resident who's been starting a petition, look how immature you're being. And just look at yourself. You're like in your 20s and you're holding a Sonic plushie. Seriously, grow up. And every character has to go through a design change. And as the years go by, Sega doesn't have a console anymore. Okay. We get that. And all this fighting over the voice acting is so dumb. Why does it matter what Sonic sounds like? As long as Sonic has a voice, and as long as Sonic has a voice, why should it matter who's voicing him? I personally don't care whose voices him, as long as the game overall is good. Sonic 4 plays exactly like the classics, but yet you stupid ass fanboys only care about how he looks. What is up with that? That doesn't make any sense at all. That's just like saying, oh, Link from Zelda sucks because he doesn't look like he did in the first game. Not that Link does suck, because Link is actually my favorite Zelda character. But anyways. And most of you fans also always complain how Sega always forgets the classics. Well, not necessarily. Like, okay, take a look at the Sonic Advance series. They were going the right way when they made those 3 games. They've had elements in that game from the original. Sure, they've had a little things that were a little different from the originals, but still, they were going into the right direction when they made it. Just, you people really need to calm down. But yeah, like, take a look at this, the Sonic Mega Collection and Sonic Mega Collection Plus. They have all three of the original Sonics for GameCube. So, see, they're pushing some of their old original games to each console that they're making the newer Sonic games, so you old fans can enjoy them. But instead, I mean, at least Sega's actually trying to do something nice for you, and you still don't appreciate it. Now, look at this. This is one of the newer ones they have coming out. I think it's a Sonic Classic Collection. All 4 original Sonic games in one. And again, you're going to criticize because of the design. Shouldn't all that matters is that Sonic is actually running and doing all those 2D levels and steps that you always dreamed of? Well, here it is. What's the point? What's the point of complaining? Just, these fanboys give me such a headache. And like this, the Sonic Genesis Collection has collections of all the old Sonic games. But yeah, overall, the fanboys just act so childish, and they just can't accept the fact that Sonic does something new. Like, why do every time Mario does something, no one criticizes him for it? Like, I mean, I don't hate Mario. I'm equal on both sides. But, like, even if they made that new Mario crossover everyone was dreaming about, and even if Sonic had his old original gameplay, they would still say the game sucked because it's Sonic. Even if they just made a random game with Sonic in it, they would say it sucks. So, I just want to know why on earth these people do this. Now, they react the same way with characters, like Amy Rose. Okay, she likes Sonic. Why does it matter if Amy Rose likes Sonic? That is so dumb. And then you people go and post petitions and do all these rants just because you think Sega will listen to you and get her out of the series, then you all are wrong. I mean, if you don't like Amy, that's fine, but don't be complete bitches about it. So what if she likes Sonic? It doesn't matter. Why does it matter if someone likes Sonic or not? You don't play the game for that stuff. You play a game to have fun, not just to see, oh, is Amy Rose going to say, I love you, Sonic? Well, oh, let's just go and bitch about it because we don't like the little bitch. That's exactly how you guys sound. And then every time someone makes a video about her, they give the same reason. And you wonder why Sega never bothers listening to you. And like Tails. Okay, Tails sounds like a girl. So what? I mean, to be honest, every voice Tails has had, he's always sound the same to me. A voice does not change a character. Tails has always acted the same in Sonic Adventure. Okay, well then, in Sonic Heroes when he had a voice change, he was still the same person. A voice don't change a character. The same thing with Rouge the Bat. Okay, people thought she was a slut because of her voice, but now because she has a new voice, she ain't a slut anymore. A girl has to have sex with a bunch of guys and sleeps with every guy she has sex with to be a slut. Just because she sounded like a 40-year-old woman like you guys suggested doesn't make her a slut. Because A girl cannot be a slut by the way they sound. A girl can sound normal and still be one. That makes no sense. And just because Silver's slow doesn't mean Silver still can't be a good character. Okay, he's not as fast as Sonic, so what? But anyways, all I'm saying is you Sonic fans really need to appreciate what Sega is actually trying to do for you. I mean, Sega even admits themselves there's no pleasing you. And it's sad. Ugh. They just frustrate me so bad. And then you always pick like Sonic and the Black Knight. Sonic and the Black Knight is not the only game to feature a sword. You have Fire Emblem, the Ninja Gaiden games, and lots of games have guys who wield swords and stuff. And Sonic Unleashed, okay, the Werehog. It did not rip off Zelda. They're two completely different things. The gameplay in each game was different. The Werehog punches. As a wolf, Link digs underground. And he uses senses to detect invisible things. Sonic, all he does is use combat. That is two completely different things. And like how Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, it does not rip off Mario Kart. There are other kart racing games, Diddy Kong Racing, and stuff like that. Now, I will admit the Sonic drifts suck. But I just really hate the Sonic fanboys. They don't appreciate nothing. And no matter what Sega does, they're gonna complain. So I just want to say, why? Just why are you doing it? And I'm just gonna leave it here. So this is Co-Langley 1, and I'll see you all. I might make a part 2 to this soon. So see ya.